Okay. I do not feel well. So I am going to pre-record everything for Monday Night Raw, probably for NXT as well, and for probably SmackDown this week because I am sick. And when I am sick, I do not want to do anything. And I am mean. And I've been mean to AJ since he came back. And I'm sorry for that, Gerard. I really am. For reals. Okay. All right. I did my wifely duties. Now, Monday Night Raw, as you're listening to this, is over, but I am literally in the middle of the show as we speak. The show kicked off with Gunther. He made it very clear that the reason why Finn Balor got his title shot was because he wanted him out of the way. And the one thing that he wants to prove is that he doesn't need help to maintain himself as a champion or to gain championships. And Finn Balor has constantly involved himself in his business, and he wants to make sure he understands that he is a problem and he's going to be the solution. Finn Balor came out there and doubled down on the fact that the only reason that he is champion right now is because of him. So, in light of those events, he's owed him something because of it, right? Now, Gunther is never one to mince words, but Gunther made it very clear to Finn Balor that you are of no you are at no point in your career on my level. What he said to him was simple. He said, 8 years ago, you were the Universal Champion. 8 years ago, you were the man. You were at the top of your game, and I looked up to you. I respected you because you did it your own way. But he says, now you choose to hang around a bunch of weirdos in a clubhouse. You chose to play second fiddle to Damian Priest and be in the Judgment Day. He said 8 years ago, you were the best in the world for one night. I am the best in the world today and for thousands of days to come. If that ain't a bar, I don't know what is. Gunther made it very clear that Damian Priest is never going to be on his level, and he's going to prove that at Saturday Night Main Event. And the things that have happened at Survivor Series are not going to happen again at Main Event. Ominous words, because he was absolutely right. No interference is going to happen on Finn Balor's part at Saturday Night Main Event because Finn Balor is in the match. Doesn't mean that Judgment Day won't be there waiting in tow like they always do. Now, as their conversation progressed, Finn decided that he was tired of being insulted, and he decided to go attack the World Heavyweight Champion. That is when Damian Priest appeared like a wild Pokemon. Came down there and took everybody out. Threw Finn in the ring, let Finn get taken out by Gunther, and then Gunther took out Damian. They started fighting. Now, the moment I saw this, I said, oh, so we are going to go with the triple threat. We could have went with the triple threat from the beginning, but I like the way that you put this together. Kudos, Kratos. Now, once Finn got done attacking everybody, because Finn was able to get the drop on everybody, he was able to get the drop on Gunther, and then he turned his sights to Damian Priest and hit him with a coup de grace with the help of his Judgment Day bandmates. But I want y'all to be very clear about what he said in terms of Finn Balor. He said, you could have given me the title shot as I rightfully deserved, but instead you decided to swerve me and give it to somebody who didn't deserve it in Dom. Now, Dom's supposed to be one of your homeboys. He's supposed to be one of your main apple scrapples. And for you to say that about him out in there in the public in front of everybody, that shows how little he thinks of Dominic Mysterio. Now, if it was me and I was Dominic, I would cost him this championship. But that's just me, you know? That's just me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a petty Betty. And I would imagine that if Dominic Mysterio had any cojones, he would be a petty Betty too. Anyways, they got to the back, which is what you're looking at from this current photo that you are gracing your phone or television screens or computers, however you're listening or watching my channel. Thank you, by the way. And the guys were in the back. They were proud of themselves because Damian and Gunther were laid out flat on their backs. And Finn Balor was standing tall with 2 titles in his hand. Now, they were back there celebrating, having a good old time and conversation. And of course, Adam Pearce walked up with all of his confidence, slow clapping and giving them all the praise. He said, wow, leave it to Judgment Day to make sure we have chaos. You know, I love the chaos. Got to start off the show with chaos. It ain't a Monday Night Raw without chaos. But just so we're clear, after this that happened on Monday night, you know, I feel like some changes have to be made to your match at Saturday Night Main Event. And the changes are that you will face off against Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event, but he is not your only opponent. No, you see, Damian Priest will also be added to this match. So your match has changed from a singles match to a triple threat. Thanks to your own actions. Gotta love a little bit of finally. Here comes the consequence. Here comes the consequences facing me right now. Gotta love that. You gotta love that. Well, they weren't too happy. And he was like, oh, yeah, just to make sure you guys understand the seriousness of this, because you seem to be forgetting that you have a championship and you act as if this championship doesn't mean anything to you. So you're going to face off against the War Raiders next Monday again. And this time, the Judgment Day is banned from ringside. You have a nice day. They were in their feelings, honey, hollering, screaming, yelling at the top of their lungs. Don't know why. The decision is final. And of course, Liv, being the petty Betty that she is, which I'm not mad at that because she was so right to say it. She was like, well, Finn, like, let's not even worry about it because we all know that you're going to win because when we listen to Finn, we win. So, do you have any pointers to give to me and Raquel for our match tonight? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Winner? Finny? Huh? You got nothing? And he was like, you know what, sis, you're going to have to give me a minute because I got to get myself together and then I can give you a few pointers. So hold off on that. And then he walked away because he was distraught, honey. Okay, he was upset. He was in his feelings. I don't know why. You backed yourself into a corner. All you had to do was get your match and then coast. Free. Cadillac, baby. Just chill. You couldn't even do that. One, you did it by antagonizing your own people. Bad move. You are literally disrespecting your own fam in their faces. Number two, you got Liv Morgan. You brought the bitch in there. She been running your faction for you this whole time because you've been soaking and in your feelings that you lost to Damian Priest. And then when you realized that Dom was getting opportunities over you, oh, you was mad and in your feelings because once again, you were being overlooked. The reason why you're being overlooked is because you ain't paying attention. You liked the fact that you didn't have to do a lot of the work and all you had to do was collect gold. But you laid back and you took the back seat while somebody else started to drive. That's your fault. So when Liv comes in and does the same thing that her predecessor, Rhea Ripley, was doing, same thing, same situation, just a different bitch. And now you want to decide to take over. But even in your faults, you're a terrible leader as well because you aren't about the group. You're only about your own fame and fortune, which in that case, you need to be by yourself. You don't give a fuck about what's going on in the Judgment Day. You generally are tired of looking at Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio love on each other all day long, which, bitch, I'm right there with you. You don't understand why fucking Carlito is in there or why Raquel's big ass is walking around popping for fucking Liv Morgan. You don't get none of that shit. All you want is the goal to prove that you are what you say you are. You've been fighting for it for 8 years and you ain't got it yet. And you keep asking yourself, why me? Why me? It's because you keep trying to find new ways to do it other than old fashioned, dig down in the dirt, grit, dedication, hard work. Yeah, sometimes a little cut corners will get you there, but it ain't gonna keep you there. Liv Morgan finna find out that lesson real quick. But you go off, sis. Do you? Whatever makes you happy, love. Karrion Kross and his final testament went up against the Wyatt Sick. They beat them because Rickety Bones ass Paul Ellering reappeared. Which he need to go home. Not even gonna lie. With him not being there, no one cared. Like, his ass still need to go home. But the final testament won. But my calculations will lead me to believe that, yeah, no, this isn't over between the Wyatt Sick and Final Testament. In fact, I believe that it's just beginning. But we shall see. Because this really wasn't much to talk about. It wasn't that great of a match. It was okay. They did okay. He threw some type of powder in the man's face, in Bo Dallas's face, Uncle Howdy's face, excuse me. And I don't know about y'all, but it just it was like baby powder, you know, like I don't know, I wish they would have used something else. Like maybe he threw some type of liquid in his face or something. The powder was interesting because it was everywhere. So, like I said, Karrion ended up pinning Uncle Howdy. And they was real hype about the pin. They was very happy about it. Go off, sis, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's not going to really change anything for you. And while everybody keeps talking about, oh, the Karrion Kross effect is real, it's just like the shit happens so far in advance that like they're bringing up shit like Drew McIntyre. They're bringing up shit like with Roman. They're bringing it up. And I'm just like, what? Like, if that's how you want to correlate it, fine. I do believe that he did that to Miz and R-Truth, and of course to the New Day. He's part of the reason why they are the way that they are. Speaking of the New Day, New Day walked into the venue today extremely ecstatic and in a beautiful mood. However, their co-workers, friends, and comrades were not too enthusiastic with their behavior. As they walked in and tried to dap up the staff and talk to Natalya, Otis, and all of Alpha Academy, they shunned them as they rightfully should. It's just going to reinforce their ideals that they need to rely on each other rather than everybody else, which cool, go off, sis. But what you did on national TV to Big E has consequences. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of said consequences. I am going to relish in every aspect of those consequences. But we have to listen to what they have to say because they're supposed to speak tonight. So we will talk about them again later on. Leave it to CM Punk to read somebody for filth in a quiet room with just Jackie. Let me break down what he said. He sat down with Jackie because Jackie wanted to understand this favor that he requested of Paul Heyman. We all do. Now, of course, this has led to so much online speculation, but CM Punk made it very clear that the favor is personal and he is not going to reveal it at this moment in time. So Jackie moved on. And she said, while you have made it very clear you don't think about Seth freaking Rollins, he's made it very clear that he's setting his sights square on you. So she says, what's T? Like, what are you going to do? Because he's not going to stop, it seems. CM Punk made it very clear that he never shies away from a fight, and to that he is correct. He also has said that Seth has some type of hatred for him that he doesn't understand, mainly because he doesn't hate Seth. He doesn't understand why he hates him. He said, I remember, he said this is a long relationship that he and Seth have had. But he recounts some situations. 16-year-old Seth freaking Rollins came to CM Punk and asked to be trained for free. He didn't elaborate if he did it or not. He just said that he asked to be trained for free. He also said that this was a sense of entitlement that Seth has carried into his adult life, something that he's never quite learned the lesson from. At least that's what he's alleging. He also says that everything Seth did, he doesn't take anything away from him. He understands his talent. He understands how good he is. And he said that if I had to live in the shadow of somebody who came before me, I would be bad too. You know, he's like, he wants to be in everybody's top tens of the best in the world. And to be fair, he definitely is. He's earned the right to be one of the best wrestlers in the world because he is one of the best wrestlers in the world. CM Punk also goes in to say that he respects Seth Rollins and what he was able to do in his absence. But now that he has returned, second string has to go back on the bench and the starter is here. That's fucked up. He also said, before he ended his argument with the starter bar, that there was a time where Seth freaking Rollins was on that top 10 list of being fired in WWE, and he was the one who went to bat for him, that he shielded him from that. So with everything that CM Punk has said, one would have to ask, what is the real issue? And I've addressed CM Punk's issues with his own self-sabotaging behavior many times on this channel, which I will link those videos below because I stand by what I said then, because what I said then was true. Now, Seth freaking Rollins' issue is very simple. CM Punk was selfish, and he was. Even CM Punk admits that he was selfish, that he wasn't about the embetterment of the company at the time. That came later. He wanted everything that everybody else was getting. He wanted to be the top guy because he knew that he was, and he was good. He was going to get that in spite of anything around him. He's the type of guy that it's search and destroy that comes across. Seth's issue is like, when the chips were down and you didn't knuckle down in the sand and do what everybody else did, you ran. You left for 10 years. Then you went to the competitor. That shit didn't work out. And now you want to come back over here talking all this rah-rah. Seth like, no, bitch, I've been the one here. Pandemic. Ratings are down. Motherfuckers calling you out. You know what I'm saying? I've been the one here going through the trials, the tribulations, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. It's been me. I've been the franchise player. I've been the one they can count on. My back, my leg, everything I can think of. I've dedicated myself to this company while you get to take all the glory and do no work. He don't like that shit. To be fair, if we're being fair, devil's advocate, Seth low-key have a right to be upset, you know? But the WWE that you see now has a lot to do with the way CM Punk was trying to make things be while he was there. But you can't do that when you got a bunch of old ass men who don't really understand how the world is changing and how people need to be treated like human beings, because the old way benefited them more than it did anybody else. So they wasn't going to change. They had no reason to change. That's why they bitching now. Oh, these new boys are soft, playing video games. I want the days back when they would bring knives into the locker room. Yeah, when motherfuckers was getting stabbed and nobody knew who stabbed them. You know what I'm saying? Niggas died. That ass was getting killed. Them the days you want to bring back. The boys club. The, oh, you're the favorite, so you get to have this club. Nah, I'm cool. We're good. We're good. But Seth is also supposed to be talking tonight. He's also supposed to be giving us a little bit of tea about how he feels about this whole situation with Mr. CM Punk. So I guess we'll be able to hear from him in response to this interview that he had with Jackie and how he really feels about Seth freaking Rollins. I mean, how Seth freaking Rollins really feels about CM Punk. We'll wait and see. So after that riveting interview with Jackie, there was a women's match. And it was Dakota Kai versus Liv Morgan. Okay. So Liv Morgan and Dakota had a decent match, but of course, hating ass Sonya brought her stupid ass out there because she wasn't included in the United States Championship. Well, the Intercontinental Championship match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She wasn't included. She not mad that her homegirl Shayna Baszler lost to Dakota. She's mad that Dakota was even considered in the match in the first place. Like, oh, she's had injuries. That's what we're celebrating. We're not celebrating injuries, babe. We celebrate W's, which you have yet to acquire any. And every time you set your sights on something, you end up doing it in the most ignorant fashion. You wanted everybody to fear y'all as if y'all were the greatest faction in the world. But girl, PFC, KFC, Pussy Fusion, whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, you are not the end all be all of the women's division. In fact, you guys, and this is no shade to Shayna Baszler because I love you, Shayna, but you, January 6th, and Shayna Baszler, y'all haven't been doing too well as of lately. I mean, Shayna went all the way to NXT and got her ass whooped by Lola, which was low-key, high-key disrespectful. You came back and decided that you wanted a faction because you knew you wasn't worth watching by yourself. So you came back and created this faction with Zoe and Shayna on their losing streak, by the way. Not while they was up. You know, it was on their losing streak. Because, you know, you got to get, a narcissist always got to kick them when they're down. Look how you need me. They could lose by themselves. They did not need you to continue losing, because that's exactly what they have been doing ever since they formed this faction. Y'all have not been of any consequence, at least with Damage Control. Damage Control did somewhat of what they said they were going to do. They took over the division. No matter what roster they were on, they were having their needs met, whether it was taking out people who was in their way or whether it was collecting titles. They did that shit. Now, I will say that Bayley didn't always, you know, make good on her claims to steal the titles, but the tag titles was always in Damage Control possession. It was a rarity that Damage Control didn't have the tag championships. You know what I'm saying? But PFC, Pussy Fusion, girl, y'all are not of any threat to anybody. And we all know this. Now, during this match, they all got involved, which I still don't understand why the ref didn't just kick them all out. Like, why the fuck is you here, ho? They should have been kicked out because they were clearly interfering in the match. The referee knew this, and he didn't really do much to stop it from happening. Cool. Liv was able to hit her oblivion on Dakota Kai. to pick up the win. PFC Pussy Fusion came in there, decided to come in there to attack the girl. And that's when her damage control comrades came down there to help her. They took out PFC, but Liv was waiting in the wings. She also was getting taken out, waiting in the wings. And once they got the drop on PFC, she took out Io Sky with an Oblivion. Now listen, I would love, love for Io Sky to steal that damn title from motherfucking Liv Morgan, because that's the only thing she got. That's her only claim to fame. And really, she would be of no use to Judgment Day without that championship. And if Raquel was smart, she would be of no use to Raquel without that damn championship. Okay? I want to see what they gonna do, because I like Saturday Night Main Event. It's gonna be a fun time. But if don't no titles change hands on Saturday, I'm gonna be disappointed. I ain't gonna lie. Because I want to see some carnage. I want to see some chaos. I want to see some mess on Saturday. Okay? Now look. Y'all deal with it however y'all want to deal with it. But me and my house, we want chaos. We're going to move on to Drew McIntyre, because we're finna make this short and sweet. Drew McIntyre said he came back because he saw Jey Uso and Sami Zayn and that no good CM Punk teaming with Roman Reigns. Oh, it's so boring, Huey. Like, what? Look. It's very interesting to me that now all of a sudden we're in our feelings about Roman. And don't get me wrong, I know Drew has his issues with Roman Reigns. Never said that he shouldn't have his issues with the man. But let's keep it funky. Let's keep it all the way 100. You didn't want to have anything to do with him until his own comrades was helping you win matches. You didn't have a problem with Jimmy Uso popping up and costing Jey Uso matches against you, which allowed you to have multiple title shots that you didn't earn. You didn't have a problem with that. You had no issues with that, but now you all in your feelings because Jey Uso went and helped his family, his cousin. It's family business. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You're mad and you're in your feelings. Nigga, nothing you saying makes any sense to me. Nothing. You don't have nothing to do with what they had going on. Nothing. You been on Raw fighting with fucking CM Punk for months. Then you get your ass handed to you in a Hell in a Cell match and you gone. Don't come back. But all of a sudden, because they're teaming with Roman in War Games, the betrayal. Bitch, y'all was not friends. Y'all was not close. The fuck? Y'all was not together. You were in no shape or form in any type of way friends. Like, you didn't like Jey Uso to begin with. You hated him. So why the fuck did you even give a damn if he was teaming with him or not? I mean, by your own standards, you the one who said that Jey Uso was a turncoat. So if you was right by all of that, then what difference does it make if he teamed up with Roman or not? I mean, wouldn't you just be like, see, I told you? Wouldn't you just be like, I'm a truth teller? I've been telling y'all the truth this whole time and y'all just want to hear it? Y'all, all of y'all want to be martyrs, and I don't understand it. I don't need you to be a martyr. I don't need any of that. I really don't. And what really baffles me is that y'all all believe that in somehow that you are correct. That was his cousin. If he wants to go back and handle business with his cousin because there's a mini tyrant running around known as Solo, then that's his business. That's his business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You need to be minding the business that pays you. And I definitely don't think that bloodline business pays you anything. And the crazy part about it is when you was running around here obsessing over CM Punk. Obsessing over CM Punk, dear. Motherfucking Solo was running around with a whole new bloodline. I ain't seen you say shit about that. You know why? Because you didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck. You still don't. You just want to have a reason to do something. I'd rather you just say, I'm coming back to tear shit up because I fucking feel like it. Then I could be like, respect, my nigga, because at least you doing something that you want to do. But you just coming back and having this bullshit ass reason for you to come back is garbage. Basura. Horrible. Trash. Okay? You're killing me right now. And I love you, Drew, but I'm going to tell you the truth. You're killing me right now. You're killing me. Because there's no way. There's no way. There's no way that in your tiny pea brain this makes sense in any way, shape, or form. None whatsoever. Your ass should have came back and been like, I'm going after Gunther for that championship. I got next. Why the fuck is you worried about what Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, and anybody else is doing? Why do you care? Now, the only thing you said that made fucking sense to me was you was like, at least CM Punk got bribed. I'm like, well, shit. The nigga got paid. The point is, he got paid to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Had nothing to do with you. You and your superhero savior complex is always gonna get you in some shit that you got your ass. You gonna write a check that your ass can't cash. You've been doing that for the last 2 years, involving yourself in business that had nothing to do with you, and still getting your ass handed to you. You need to get your shit together and stop meddling in that shit. You need to be more concerned about titles. Okay? You need to be more concerned about that. You should be interfering in the shit that's going on with Finn, Damian, and Gunther. Not lollygagging and playing around in the peanut gallery with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Especially when it's family business and it don't have nothing to do with you. As we used to say when we was little kids, bitch, it's an AB conversation, ho. So see your way out, my nigga. Like, we didn't call for you. We didn't call your name. We did not send for you. Please. Go home, Roger. Cody Rhodes was on Monday Night Raw tonight. If you don't know or if you can't remember, the trade portal is open and everybody is having conversations because everybody is eligible to be traded. Now, Cody was in Adam Pearce's office. He's the first one that I've seen tonight in Adam Pearce's office. It wasn't like on SmackDown where we saw a plethora of Raw superstars popping up with Nick Aldis and having conversations. I don't know. Adam seems to be very strategic. He seems to be very calculated in who he's talking to, honey. So, part of my nephew, he's in there watching TV. He's autistic and I can't control him. So, you'll have to deal. Anyways, Cody came out of Adam Pearce's office and was, thanking him for the conversation. And then he ran into these two. And like I told y'all earlier, look, here comes the consequence. Look, here comes the consequence. It's chasing me right now. I told you that your consequences are coming. Your actions have consequences. And they have been treated like the scum of the earth, like they definitely are, all night long. And Cody Rhodes says, well, I've known you two a very long time. Xavier, I've known you since we were kids. And I just want y'all to know that y'all both should be ashamed of yourselves. And Xavier was like, okay. This real rich coming from him. Like he was really cool in high school. Bitch, you're 30 plus. You're 30 plus. High school for you and I was 20 years ago. If he wasn't shit in high school, then why you been fucking with him this whole time? Like, I just want to know. Inquiring minds, Xavier. Inquiring minds. Baby, just stand 10 toes down in what you said and what you did and move forward. Y'all thought y'all was going to be able to say that type of shit on TV and just go out there and not have no fucking blowback from everybody? Especially when Big E's one of the nicest people there. Bitch, you're getting what you deserve. And I hope when you come out there that the crowd boo your ass out the water. I really do. I need that. I'm in hunger for it. I really do. So we gonna get to the New Day and their bullshit in a minute. Right now, we're gonna talk about Seth freaking Rollins because Seth came out in all of his high fashion designer and his wee little boots. He had on some wee little boots today with a heel. We love that for him. Now, Seth said CM Punk told half truths. He said, yes, I went to Punk to get trained. I looked up to him. I was his friend, or at least I thought I was. We were supposed to be cool. You know, I had his back, he had mine, or at least I thought. But he said 10 years ago, when CM Punk was here and he walked out of this company, I called him as a friend to text him, to talk to him, just to see how my friend was doing, and I got nothing. Now, if you know the internet streets like I know, this sounds vaguely familiar. It sounds vaguely familiar. Now, listen. The vaguely familiar part that it sounds like is most definitely Kofi Kingston. Now, if you don't know, the internet streets have been talking for years. And they talked about how CM Punk left WWE, how he got fired. But everybody that stayed in the E after he left, he cut them off. Kofi and CM Punk were very close. They were very good friends. And when things didn't necessarily go CM Punk's way, he had a way of behaving. And that's where I was telling you earlier about the self-destructive behavior, how he cuts people off or burns relationships, and then he ends up having to come back and get a big piece of humble pie. But in this case, what Seth is talking about is how he behaved in terms of him and his friendship and how they were friends, or at least so he thought. Now, he also says that that's not where it ended. He says shortly after that, CM Punk then began to run this smear campaign about the WWE, talking down on them. And to be fair, devil's advocate, the things that CM Punk was saying were not lies. They were true. Okay, but I understand that you love the WWE, the life you've been given, your wife, everybody that you know and love works there and they're there. And so somebody who you thought was a friend, who you loved, obviously, as a friend, and now they've turned to be somebody who's almost like a turncoat, going around saying dastardly shit about a place that you love, it can be a little touchy. It can be a little touchy. Okay? And so he goes on to say that not only that, but CM Punk then decided he wanted to get back in the game. So when everything didn't work out, he failed at everything else, which I ain't gonna lie, his acting career was subpar at best. UFC, crazy. And then reality TV, nobody liked him. CM Punk was an asshole. Um, it's not entirely wrong. He's not entirely wrong. Like Seth he's on to something. He's cooking. He's cooking in the kitchen. Okay. He basically was like, as soon as you failed, you came back to the one place that you knew would take you back. And as long as the money was right, the Munaletto had to make sure that wallet was full, honey. As long as the dineros was right, and that Munaletto was 100% full with the right kind of numbers. Okay? He was like, that's why your ass came back. Because WWE's a $1 billion company, and now they can pay you what you think you worth. Okay? I said, ooh, this is messy, child. Missy Boots. And he goes on to say that he did everything that he could to be better than CM Punk because he idolized him at one point. And he realized that that wasn't the cool thing to do, that he needed to be better than him. So he did. He said everything CM Punk did, he did it twice, and he did it better than him. And not only that, but he did the one thing that CM Punk has never been able to do, and that is main event WrestleMania. And then a peculiar entrance music hits, and it's Sami Zayn. One has to wonder, What is this conversation going to be about? Hmm? That was a little tiff between Sami and Seth freaking Rollins. And Sami just, he said, listen, I was wrong to accuse you of taking out Jay, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize. I shouldn't have accused you like that. I'm sorry. And Seth was like, you know what? I accept your apology. But he said, I just got to ask, you and I have known each other for 20 plus years. Our kids play together. You know me and I know you. So tell me why, just a thought, why was I the first person that you thought of that took out Jey Uso? And you have to ask yourself, why was he the first person? To be fair, just going off of assumptions, not exactly a clean slate type of guy, Seth Rollins. You've got a lot of stains on your record. Some of them are red, some of them are green, but you've got a lot of stains, babe. With all that being said, it is unfair for you to make it seem as though Sami didn't have the right to accuse you of those things, when in all actuality, what Sami said was fair. Now, his explanation made it even more palatable. He said, last week you were out of your mind. The Seth Rollins that I know wasn't that guy that was here. The guy that was here was unhinged. He was talking like he was the only one who knew what he was talking about. Everybody else is a liar. You're the martyr. You're true, and you are true blue, and everybody else is just lying ass weirdos. You were talking like Drew McIntyre. And that struck a chord. Seth was like, I am not like Drew. He said, no, you're not. But he says this thing with Punk, it changes you. It turns you into this obsessive, angry brute. And you got to get yourself under control. But you know what? This thing between you and Punk was way outside of the scope of what I thought it was. Okay? It was something that I didn't even know the extent of your anger and frustration with him. So, just out of the fairness, I'm going to take a step back and not get involved. Maybe I shouldn't have got involved the first time. And you're probably right about that. But I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to get myself out of this mess. And I'm going to let you handle your business with CM Punk. I'm not going to involve myself anymore. And he says, thank you. That's all I wanted. So Sami's request was, well, are we good? And he says, yes, Sami, we're good. But it seems you have a little bit of an issue with Drew McIntyre that you need to handle. To which he walked away from because he was done. You know, he had already gave the real explanation as to why he has this hatred for CM Punk. And he settled up some lingering issues over here with Sami Zayn. So Sami was like, I ain't finna drag this shit out. I don't feel like it. I don't have time for it. Drew ain't worth the drama. Now, at Saturday Night Main Event, it's going to be me versus Drew. I already talked to Pierce. Pierce booked it. It's ready to roll. I ain't waiting until he gets his shit together. Oh, nay. I don't want to. I don't have to, bitch. I'm not going to. Okay? We going to settle this shit up right. Proper. At Saturday Night Main Event. And of course, he walked away. Music played. And then here comes Drew. Attacking him from behind. Like a true villain. Just kicking ass. So now we are at 5 matches for Saturday Night Main Event. And we love that for us. We love that for us. That means we got fights galore. So many fights. And we love that for us. Like I said, it's going to be a fun time this Saturday at Saturday Night Main Event. Moving on to the next match, it was the next qualifier for the Intercontinental Championship for the women. Lyra Valkyria face off against Ivy Nile and Zelina Vega. I wanted Zelina Vega to win this so bad. But they gave it to Lyra. Sure, I love Lyra, but I really wanted Vega to win. God, I really wanted her to win. But your time is coming, Zelina. It is coming. I promise. Lyra Valkyria advanced in the Intercontinental Women's Championship tournament. She will join Dakota Kai as the second competitor to advance to the semifinals. The New Day were very much in their feelings, like I told you earlier. They were crying and complaining because everyone is asking, why would you publicly disrespect and berate your friend? And they are shocked at the responses from their peers as well as the fans. They're shocked that everyone is angry with them. Did you really think Sideshow Bob and Carlson was gonna bring y'all asses out here on national TV and we was all just gonna forget how you just disrespected, ran down, and cut Big E to the white meat? Did you think we was gonna forget that shit? Hell motherfucking no, we ain't forget that shit. And you ate just a small slice of crow. Okay? I told you. Look, here comes the consequence. Here comes the consequences chasing you right now. It's gonna keep chasing you, bitch. You ain't gonna never escape, especially not with me, ho. I'm gonna be on your ass like white on rice. Kofi with his chesticles separated like two chicken breast cutlets on a damn cut board. And you, Sideshow Bob, y'all both are gonna suffer the wrath. And it just is what it is. They booed your asses out of the arena. You couldn't even explain. Explain what? What you trying to explain to us? We heard what you said, so it's very clear how you felt. Big E didn't heal fast enough from you with his broken neck. And because he chose to live his life, to have a life, because he couldn't do what he was loving to do over these years, which is be with y'all, wrestling with y'all. So because he chose to have a life and actually utilize the time that he had been blessed with, because sometimes even in the face of travesty, you get a blessing, and he did. He got his woman. He finally built his family. He's getting a home. And you hoes couldn't keep your shit together long enough to at least allow him to get himself together to come back. And so you blamed him for your failures and your self-destruction instead of taking your own personal responsibility. You're terrible because of you, not because Big E didn't come back and save your punk ass. Y'all are grown-ass men. And if you can't co-function together in Big E's absence while he still has a broken neck, then you don't need to be together at all. And Champa, I ain't forgot about your bitch ass. I heard and I saw what the fuck you said on Twitter too. You and that little Red 10 bitch you called Johnny Gargano can kiss my ass too. Okay? Ain't nobody asked you about your broken neck, black heart, because there was a time when your ass was sitting on the shelf and didn't know if you was coming back either. But I ain't see Johnny Gargano questioning you and calling you motherfucking names. Nobody was talking shit about you. But here you are in the peanut gallery talking about I had a broken neck. And you can get another one if you keep talking shit. Now, goddammit, there are a lot of things I will tolerate. But Big E slander ain't one of them. Okay, I'm going to be on your ass. I'm going to be on your ass until you fix it. Let me move on before I be done cuss Sideshow Bob and fucking Carl out one more time. Get your shit together. And Kofi, go get some pectoral replacements. I'm tired of looking at your titties sagging and perky at the same time. How the hell do you do that? How you do that? How they flat and you ain't? It's like you ain't got no nipples or nothing. You ever seen? Okay, so listen. Everybody got sagging titties. When you get older, your titties sag. Okay, it's just the truth of the matter. It is what it is. All I'm saying is, as a grown man, his man muscle is real flat. Ain't no girth to it. He ain't got no pumping iron or nothing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just saying, Kofi's titties look like a real flat AAA cup. He is tittyless. He just nipples. He just, ah, my God, today. Oh shit. And to end our Raw recap, Rhea Bloody Ripley is facing off against Raquel Rodriguez in an anything goes main event for Monday Night Raw. I have to say, it was a solid show. Both women pulled out all the stops with the tables, the ladders, the chairs, the kendo sticks, and of course, comrades in Liv Morgan. I guess she took her bump before she came out there and was very active this tonight for whatever reason. We don't know. Anyways, she showed up. She constantly got involved, costing Rhea Ripley precious time in the match, incessantly involving herself in something that really genuinely had nothing to do with her. But of course, it's her friend. It's a friend. A friend in the match. She had to for her friend. hmm Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. Anyways, lo and behold, Raquel was able to get the drop on Rhea on multiple occasions, but even in her getting the drop, she wasn't able to capitalize on Rhea Ripley. Rhea also had a little help from Io Sky coming in towards the end of the match to give Rhea a little bit of a, even kill here. And of course, this led to her taking out Liv Morgan, who laid her out earlier. Now, technically, the girls are on even kill. Both of them got a hit on the other. So there's no real momentum for Io, and there's no real momentum for Liv Morgan. But as I always say, whoever hits last usually loses. And in this case, Io Sky did hit last. But to finish out the match, Raquel Rodriguez tried very hard to choke slam Rhea into the table, but it didn't work out in her favor once again. Rhea was able to circumvent and throw her into the corner into a chair that was set up, and that laid her out. She then was able to hit her with a riptide through the table, and Rhea Ripley won her very first singles match back on Raw in a year. It's been a year since she's wrestled on Monday Night Raw. That's crazy. But yes, it has been a year, ladies and gentlemen, since Rhea Ripley has competed on Monday Night Raw. And she got a W, and it was a big one. Now, Saturday Night Main Event stage is set. But in regards to these two, Io Sky and Liv Morgan are the ones who are competing at Saturday Night Main Event. But expect Raquel Rodriguez to be a heavy participant in this match. And if I was Rhea, I also would be in attendance. Now, the last thing we saw was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky holding the championship and staring each other down. Now, me personally, I would prefer if Io and Rhea battle it out. But something tells me that Liv Meth Head Morgan is going to end up getting to keep that championship. She's going to retain. And it's going to be her going into the new year as champion and going into the Royal Rumble as champion. Okay. And to be fair, Liv hasn't been champion that long. She got the title back at Survivor Series in August. It feels like she's had it for a long time, but she really hasn't. Prior to that, um no, she didn't get it at SummerSlam. She got it at the Saudi show against Becky. So it has been longer than we think. She got it back then against Becky, and that was like, what was that? March? March when they went to Saudi? I can't remember. But anyways, like I said, she hasn't had it for a very long time, but I think she's had it let's see how long Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has Okay, so Liv won the championship in Riyadh when they went to Saudi Arabia. Uh, um, excuse me. Let's see. How long? Okay. Oh, see, it hasn't been that long. She's been champion about 198 days, which is 18 days. Well, she's over 3 months, so it's 198 days. Mm, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So she's been champion. It'll be, no, it has been 6 months for her. Going into December, it'll be 7 months. Once she hits December 25th, Christmas will mark her 7 months of her being champion. So cool. Love that for you. 198 days she's been champion. Um, Hopefully she loses that Royal Rumble because I'm tired of her. But anyways, uh, yeah. So we love that for them, but I just don't think that Liv is gonna lose that title at Saturday Night Main Event unless Triple H swerve us, you know, give us a nice Christmas present. It would be nice, must be nice, you know. But it is what it is, I ain't mad about it. Do you? Okay? Do you, babe? This situation with Seth freaking Rollins and CM Punk is getting very personal, ladies and gentlemen, and I like the little personal. I like it when you give us a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of information, if you will. Okay. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was fairly decent. It was really, really good. I definitely enjoyed it. Okay. We had a good time watching, learning, waiting, enjoying all the mess that they've provided us with. We love that. Ew. Ooh, the graphics have been updated, honey, and they look delicious. Let's talk about Saturday Night Main Event. It's a very heavily raw TV special that we're looking at here. Now, there is going to be, some more SmackDown stuff added. But it looks like it's very heavy on the raw side for now. So, it looks like they might be 3-3. I don't know. Let me double check. So we have currently the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Cody Rhodes is being challenged by Kevin Owens for his championship. This is a championship battle that these two men will be in. And then on the Raw side, you have the women's champion Liv Morgan facing off against Io Sky. They will also be competing for Liv Morgan's Women's World Championship. And again, we're going to switch it up. The match originally planned was for Finn Balor and Gunther, but that all changed after Finn Balor's actions and his incessant need to be the guy. He has talked and walked himself into a triple threat. So now not only does he have to worry about Gunther, he also has to worry about Damian Priest. You kind of brought this one on yourself, babe. And also, and this is in regards to Monday Night Raw, we have another match that's scheduled for Saturday Night Main Event with Sami Zayn facing off against Drew McIntyre. And then finally, we have the finals of the United States Women's Championship this coming Friday. Chelsea Green will take on Bayley, and of course, Meechim will take on Tiffany Stratton. The two women who come out as the victors in these two matches will then face off at Saturday night's main event. The very next night, Saturday night main event will showcase, okay, on NBC, and it will stream simultaneously to Peacock. So, in case you don't have local television, you can watch it on Peacock because most people don't have local television, or they don't have a streaming service or cable service that provides them with those local channels. If you have Sling or anything outside of that, you know, Fubu TV, Tubi, anything, Plex, anything that's not, gonna give you the regular standard channels, you more than likely won't be able to get your local channels. So you're gonna have to watch it on the PLE side of it. So you have to watch it over on Peacock. They're gonna stream it simultaneously on Peacock, so you won't miss anything. You won't be behind because you're watching it on Peacock. You'll be seeing the same thing that the rest of us who have the local stations will be able to see. With all that being said, if you plan on taking your ass over to Saturday Night Main Event, you should. But there's another one coming. They're going to be in San Antonio, Texas, and this is going to be Saturday, January 25th. The tickets are on sale January 25th. Well, they start actually being on sale this week on December 11th, and they go on sale fully on December 13th. So they start the day before my birthday and the day after my birthday. Wonderful, WWE. Love you for that. Love you for that, jerks. Anyways, the show will be Saturday, January 25th. They're going to be their second TV special. This is something that they are starting, and they're going to continue because this was a promise that they promised Peacock, which was NBC at the time, that they were going to do for them. They were going to have a certain number of TV specials, and they were also going to be doing their PLEs live from Peacock. And they just started doing the TV specials, which is pretty cool, which is how we got Saturday night's main event back, which we love that for us. We're just tired at this point. We just came off the heels of fucking Survivor Series. Deadline just ended last week. Awesome, awesome show. I did a very quick rundown of Deadline because it was very simple, very to the point. But if you want to see that, you definitely can. It was about 15 minutes. I was tired. I said, listen, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. I will tell you this. Not the biggest fan of the women's match. The men's match wasn't any better, and I just wish there were more pinfalls, and I wish that there were more penalty box conversations, okay? I wish that. But other than that, everybody did sensational. Lola and Jada, from what I heard, had a great match. And of course, the men's tag team match was insane. Nathan Frazier and Axiom being able to pull that shit out of their asses that way is just nuts. Nathan Frazier was beat to hell, and he still was able to pull out and do exceptionally well in this match. You may not want him to stay champion, and I don't. But I will tell you this, that these two have done a sensational job as tag team champions, and you can never take that away from them. Plus, Trick Williams pulled out a win over Ridge Holland. Thank God for you, Trick Williams, because we would have been stuck with boring-ass Ridge Holland as champion. But now that you've gotten over that mountain, you got a whole other ball game to talk about when it comes to Obafemi, the ruler of NXT. This is not somebody that you could just will your way through and beat. And this isn't somebody who cares about NXT's legacy. He's building his own legacy. And babes, I don't see you beating Obafemi in any way, shape, or form. There's just no way. But we will wait and see. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Monday Night Raw recap, your low-key NXT recap. And of course, understand the Saturday Night Main Event is this Saturday, and it starts... What time does it start? Let's go back to the graphic. Starts at 8, 7 Central. It is Saturday, December 14th. They're going to be in Long Island, New York. So I will see you guys on Saturday after Saturday Night Main Event. But first, we're going to do Freestyle Wednesday this week, which we're going to talk about NXT and all of the fallout of NXT. Supposed to have a match with Wesley and Javon Evans. And there's going to be some other stuff because Julie is now the number one contender for Roxanne's championship at New Year's Evil. Okay. And of course, you've got Obafemi, who's supposed to address the NXT audience this week, and Trick Williams has got to prepare for him. So much going on in the LBC. It's going to be kind of hard being Trick Willie. Okay, it's gonna be kind of hard. But with all that being said, it's a lot going on. OTM stated their claim to the tag titles. They may just get them, and so much more. So we'll discuss all of that on Wednesday on the Freestyle Wednesday Live. If I'm not sick, if I feel good, and of course, Friday Night SmackDown is a go. She's a go. I wonder how this trade portal is really going to work out. It seems like all of the trade announcements and everything will be done in January. So maybe all those announcements will happen in January. Who knows? All I know is that it's going to be an interesting time in WWE. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble and yell and scream at my TV screen. I appreciate that more than you know. And I will see you guys in my next one. Doodles. If you don't want